Hello, my name is Donna Ellis. I'm the creator of the Active Rest Fitness Program and Lifestyle, and I want to come to you with a question today. My question is, what does matching energy mean to you? Of course, I'm going to give you my opinion on it, but first, let me just kind of tell you a little bit about Active Rest. On this channel, I help you get active for about 30 minutes a day, for at least 30 minutes a day, by providing workouts that will fit any schedule and eliminate most of your excuses. I also help you prioritize rest and restorative sleep. I help you practice mindfulness in your eating habits as well as in your physical abilities. And I help you build a community of support amongst family members, neighbors, and friends. If you have not yet found that support, then I welcome you to this channel. Hopefully you can get some motivation. You can get some good examples of what a good workout looks like. It doesn't have to be 2-3 hours in the gym. You just need about 30 minutes, sometimes just 20 minutes, and then you can add it on. Give me 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and boom, there you go. At least 30 minutes a day. So that's what you will find here on this channel. I always try to talk about a component of rest or a component of active rest. So one of those four tenets. And today, that energy topic, that matching energy, to me aligns with rest. So a lot of times when I hear matching energy, when I hear that phrase, it's because it's usually negative. It's usually a negative connotation. So typically it's because someone has been done wrong. And so now, they're going to get back at the at the person who did them wrong by matching that negative energy or that wrongdoing. So I want people to really take that and also think about it in the positive, like matching good energy. Some people are pouring some good energy into you, but because you're so focused on the negative, you can't see that and you can't receive that and you can't, celebrate that. And I want you to get your mind right in that aspect. So the word energy has been coming up a lot for me. I'll tell you just a couple of instances that kind of got my mind going on this topic. So first off, I've been studying to become a certified nutrition coach. And so one of the first things that they teach is the first law of thermodynamics, which basically says energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just either transfers or changes forms. Okay. And so to me, I thought that was such a great metaphor for life. So, it got me to thinking outside of, the scientific definition of it and just thinking about how it applies to our lives. The second thing is I was listening to an interview with Stephanie Perry. Stephanie Perry interviewed Toni Jones on her channel. Well, Toni Jones makes affirmation music. So for affirmation music for Black women. So if you need just some positive reinforcement, some upliftment, just some get up, some motivation to help you get up and go, then I would suggest that you listen to Toni Jones's music. I will link to that interview and I will link to Toni Jones's channel in the description below. But Toni has a song that I listened to called Energy Budget. A lot of the ladies was mentioning that song, Energy Budget, and it just talks about, pouring into people what they pour into you, not letting people just kind of take up all of your energy and then leave you depleted. It just talks about reciprocity is the word that I'm looking for. Whatever people give you, you give it back. It's reciprocal. I know a lot of relationships, especially relationships with me, and I'm really working on distinguishing between transactional relationships and reciprocal relationships. I'm making that distinction. Another word that kept coming up for me last year when I was journaling was friendship. And so me just trying to figure out what friendship truly means to me. And then from there, a lot of things came up about just reciprocity and transactional, how to put people in certain buckets so that they don't deplete you or so that you don't put too much energy somewhere and then find yourself disappointed when you're not receiving that same thing from somewhere else. So it's all about that transfer of energy, right? It still aligns with that. So that's where this topic comes from. So one of the things that I just want you to be aware of, be cautious of, when you're receiving like negative energy from somebody, negative vibes from somebody or something, or just something out there in the world, I want you to look in these places and just try to, remove yourself from these places. Go find somewhere else. Go find what I call my core friendships. I have 5 really good friends that I talk to about business, that I talk to about my personal life, that that we just, the relationship feels mutual, very mutual, more so than in some of my other like acquaintances or, just people that I'm friendly with. So I have 5 really what I call my core friendships that I feel that reciprocity with. And so, with that, I want you to be aware of social media. All right. So, there's a lot going on in the news, in our country, and on social media as a whole. So you need to be aware of how you're feeling when you're taking in a lot of that information. So what I noticed on social media, and I noticed this about 10 years ago, I started following this young lady, and I really didn't I spent a lot of time on Facebook, like just kind of scrolling and didn't really post a lot. But I started following, or, I became friends with a young lady. And when you see her in person, she had the most bubbly personality, like just full of energy, full of life. But her social media messages read a little different. And so I would look at her social media and I was like, to me, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but it just read of like loneliness, depression, things of that nature. But it would be social media posts that attempted to sound positive, but if you dug a little bit deeper, there were some negative connotations in there. And so a lot of these posts that I see, and it's hard for me, like I don't even like those posts. I don't hit the like button, the thumbs up button on posts like this, because to me, that's a transference of negative energy. I don't want people to stay, I don't want to support that negativity, And so what I see is people talking about like the haters, I'm gonna show my haters. They use that as motivation, like their haters as motivation. Or the one that I really can't stand is, they thought they buried me, but they didn't know they planted a seed, which means, I'm going to grow from whatever it is this person did to me. And for me, I feel like if your accomplishments, if your drive is based off of like negativity or trying to show people who don't even care about you, who you feel don't care about you, they're your haters, like you say, trying to prove something to those people, are you really celebrating your life? Are you really moving in a way that's a celebration of you? And so be careful of like, social media posts or what you show the world on social media. I try to lead with light. I try to lead with positivity. That's how it goes. Now, when I'm talking to my core, when I'm talking to my family, my close family, my husband, when I'm sharing things with him, that's where I share, some of my, feelings that where I might be like something ain't right in this particular relationship or this particular friendship. But on social media, what I try to do is I try to post, the good things. And I want people to be encouraged. I want people to be motivated. It's not that I want to try to be fake or anything like that, or try to show a life that I'm not living, but that's what I want to lead with when I'm posting to social media. My personal, grievances are for me to share with those who are closest to me. I don't need support from the masses when there's something negative. That's not what I want. Like one of the things I noticed, I'll say this, is like I can post all the good things going on in my life and it'll get, some likes, some thumbs up, some hearts, some comments. But it's always when I post, if I post something about like my parents passing away, something sad, that gets more reactions. And I noticed that, and I don't like that. So I said I would probably not post too much. Sometimes the feeling just comes over me, but I'll try not to post too much about, the sad stuff, like that sad stuff, because people react to that. And I think they feel like they're supporting you, but support me on the positive stuff too. I like that support for when I'm down, like when I'm sad and missing my parents. But I also want that same support when I'm, just talking about how good of a day I'm having, or, I'm having a good hair day, I looked over to make sure my hair looked good. I want that support as well on those types of posts. And so that's what I want to say. Just be careful of what you're taking in on social media. I had to stop watching a lot of news, here coming up because a lot of things do not align with what I believe in. So I did have to pull away from watching the news. I try to get the information that I need to stay in the loop without overwhelming myself with negative news, because a lot of the stuff in the news we knew was coming anyway. So if you've been paying attention before, you kind of knew this stuff was coming anyway. So there's no need for me to inundate my nerves, my nervous system with so much bad news. So that's why I try to lead with light and positivity. The other thing that I wanted to address, that's social media. So just be careful about how you post on social media, how you present on social media. Like, are you truly happy if you keep bringing up the haters and all of that different stuff? Make sure that you are leading with light and positivity in your life. Make sure you get rid of that negative energy and find you some positivity to really rely on. Family. Okay. So that's my other thing. Family. Negativity in your family. Some people will say, like I've had a falling out with a close family member of mine. Very close family member. It wasn't, I didn't have any resentment towards them, but found out they couldn't stand me. So, and so I just stopped talking to them. Like, I got cussed out, real bad. And so I just stopped talking to them altogether. I haven't tried to reach out or anything like that. And they haven't reached out to me after. But my husband, he keeps trying to convince me to, I should talk to them because they are my family. And my thing is like, no, because that's negative energy. I don't want that in my life. You don't have to love everything I do. You don't have to love everything about me. Like, when I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I can accept your opinion of when I'm wrong about something. That doesn't bother me. But to, like, just flat out, like, just to cuss at me, and I'm not a big cusser, so I don't cuss at people I got to be real mad to cuss you out. And so for you to talk to me in that way, and I've never talked to you in that way, I'm not going to continue to, to accept that level of abuse. And so for me, I keep my energy good. I go around the people that love me, who appreciate me, who care for me. I spend time with them, as far as they've shown me, but if you can't show me that you care about me, that you love me, that things like that, then, I just can't be around you. I can't support you. So, even with your family, sometimes there's some negative energy out there in that family, and you might need to lean more towards that positive energy. Don't transfer. Don't go down in the gutter with them, find you some positive energy, some positive family members. Just be with the people you love is what I say. Be with the people you love and the people who love you back, because just because you love someone doesn't mean they love you back the same way. So that's what I say. To me, that's a great transference of good energy, is being with the people that you love and also the ones who love you back. And that goes for family too. That goes for family. That goes for friends, acquaintances. Some friends you just gotta, some friends are not your friends. So find the people that are your core, who are supporting you, who love you back, who love you in the same way, who give to you in the same way, who pour into you in the same way. And it might not always be equal. Sometimes you're giving 80, they're giving 20. But at the time where you can only give 20 and they can give 80, like vice versa, then those are the people that you need to be aligned with. Another place is on that job. If that job is giving you grief, then you need to find a way that you can find some happiness. Transfer that energy somewhere else. I know for me, like in the military, specifically here recently, I had to go on military duty. I'm a military instructor, and it was going to be, nothing was lining up the way that I wanted it to. I was going to have to stay in the barracks with the students, which I never had to do before. As a student, I don't mind staying in the barracks, but as an instructor, I just didn't feel like, that was a good thing for me. And I just wasn't prepared for it because they've always put me in a hotel. So I got that news, and I was like, okay. So what I did was I took my own, I took my linen, something pretty, something, it was plain, but it was pretty. I took some house plants with me, a couple of house plants. I, took the things that I knew would kind of make it more homey for me, like more comfortable for me. I got there and it was actually nice. Like, aside from sleeping in a twin bed, which isn't that big of a problem for me because I sleep in one spot anyway. Aside from sleeping in a twin bed, having to sleep in a twin bed, I took my own space heater so that I could be warm. I was going to a colder place, so I made sure that I was comfortable in that way. So I just took the things that would make me comfortable, and that shifted my energy about the space. It actually was really quiet. I didn't bump into students at all while I was there. It was just a nice day. I got good sleep every night. I was able to go to bed early. I was able to wake up in time to just take a nice, slow, easy morning. Hold on a moment. I got to end that call. I took a nice, slow, easy morning, and took my time getting ready and getting out of the door. So it all just worked out, very well for me. And so, because I changed the energy, I shifted the energy. At first, I was bombarded with negativity. It was going to be cold. I'm going to be in the barracks. I'm used to staying in a hotel with a big bed all to myself. And now you're going to possibly have a roommate in a small room in a twin bed, So, but because I took some things that I would be comfortable with, and I ended up having my own room. And so a lot of things just worked out for me. Also, in the mornings, I would get up and dance. I would get up and line dance in the mornings while I was on military duty. And that just helped bring my energy up, so that when I got to my classroom, I'm sure that my students were kind of able to see like that positivity. I tried to, like if things were coming up that we had to kind of shift the schedule around, I had talked to them in one of the lessons about mental agility. And so I informed them ahead of time that, we need to be mentally agile because things can change quite frequently. And so whenever I had to bring them news, I said, you remember we talked about mental agility. We got a little bit of a change, and it kind of softened the blow for them. A lot of them was like, oh, Sergeant Ellis, that's not even a bad thing. Like that's actually not bad news. We were expecting something worse. And so just think if I had come in with negative energy, and just down and depressed and in the dumps, and because I had this living situation that I didn't want, or something like that, it could have changed the dynamics of my whole class. And I have to say that this was one of the best cycles. After being a military instructor for 12 years, this was one of the best cycles I've ever experienced, as far as having no issues, minimal issues, things like that. So, and I just had a really good class, and it was just a really good 2.5 weeks for me, and I got a lot of rest. So on the job, just be careful with that. And for me, in certain places, so like with doing business with certain people. So there's a place that I used to go, and I enjoyed, I wanted to be there, but it was a couple of times I went to this place. I wanted to support this business, but when I would go, the energy would just be off for me. And I'm an intuitive person. So if something don't feel right to me, if my intuition, if something just not settled for me, then I try to remove myself. I won't do it. And so I had to stop going to this place and supporting this place because it just threw my energy off. I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me. The people just did not seem friendly to me. And so I would try to go and be my best bubbly self, but the people just it just didn't feel right for me. And so I had to stop supporting that business. Another person, I used to support their business. And the first time I went to the location, the person was talkative. They were nice. They were friendly. And then I went, something's popping up on my screen there. And then I went a second time, and it wasn't the same energy, but they had a good product. So I was like, I want this product, so I'm going to go and support this business. And I just was thinking like maybe a lot of that is when people kind of come at me, what I might feel is like negatively. I just feel like, well, maybe they're having a bad day, like maybe something's going on. They're distracted, like in their mind or whatever, and they just can't fully give that good customer service that they typically would. I was like, well, maybe something's just going on that, and so I forgive them for that, like, because we all have those moments. And I went another time and the same thing. The energy was just off, just wasn't welcoming, wasn't friendly. So I decided I would not, support that business anymore because I'll give you a second chance. A lot of times I give you a third chance, but you ain't gonna get that many more chances to, be kind of rude to me. And like I said, with the family, even in my business, I had to talk to my husband one time because he might say something to me that will throw me off. And he has the best of intentions. He can have the best of intentions, but he might just say something to me that will alter my spirit, alter my energy, and then I have to go out and perform. So I work out on the deck at my house. So home and work are like right there together, as far as the fitness program goes. So I had to tell him one time, like, if you have to, the right word isn't chastise me, but if critique, if there's something that you're going to be critical about, with me, do it after the class. Don't do it before I have to go and now try to be bubbly and happy and put on a smile for people, because I'm not good at faking that type of energy. And so sometimes, because of the community that I've created as far as this fitness program goes, I can openly say to them, like, I'm not feeling myself. I got some stuff on my mind. So if I'm jacked up a little bit today, please forgive me. And they normally will be very forgiving of that, so that's just the community that I've built, where they trust me that normally I'm good, but there are times, that I might not be just mentally all the way there, for them. And so I can let them know that. So just, that's the thing, is just being careful of, how you, present yourself, what energies you're putting out, what energies you're receiving from people. Be cautious of that and try to align yourself with people that are giving you a good transfer of energy, some good reciprocation, that people are pouring into you, you're pouring into them, and move forward from there. I think that is all I have to say, just about, matching energy. Use it as a positive, match good energy with energy, and don't worry about, people hating on you. I don't like that word. Like, I don't like that terminology, because I feel like we all should be like just supporting each other and doing good things, and just wishing each other well. But I do know that there are, it's just human nature that there are some people that might not like everything you do. You might be jealous of the things that you're doing, whatever it is. Just because it's you doing it, they're not going to support it like they support it from somebody else. But because it's you, they're not going to support it. But you still go out there, you do your best, and you put your best foot forward. You don't worry about what anybody else is saying. You don't worry about what anybody else is doing. As long as your purpose is aligned, as long as you got people supporting you and loving you, and, and helping you out, stick with that. Lean in with that. Lead with that. Let that be your light. Let that be your guiding light. So let me know in the comments if you appreciated this topic, if you appreciated this conversation, if you feel differently than I do, respectfully disagree with me in the comments. Just tell me if it helps you, if it's motivated you at all to, kind of shift how you move in your own life. Let me know. All right. So don't forget, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. Look at some of the other Meet Me on the Deck messages. And thank you for listening. All right. Bye-bye.